I like the way Grandpa is doing it. Now sit down majestically like kings and queens that you are. Thank you very much. At this point, we want to officially and spiritually declare this program open. Shall we all be on our feet as we take the opening prayer? And to lead us in the opening prayer is no other person than ESV Pastor Sam, the boy. Please a big round of applause for him.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, eternal King of glory, you are Jehovah Shaddai, you are Jehovah Nissi. We thank you for a day such as this. A day you have designed, a day you have made so beautiful for us to gather for an event such as this. We ask you, O Lord, that you have a way here today. We thank you, O Lord, for the journey mercies you granted everyone to be here. And we thank you, O Lord, for those who are still on their way. Lord, for those of us that are here and for this program, we ask for wisdom. We ask for your enablement. You will watch over everyone, O Lord, to keep, protect, and preserve. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Thank you, Father. We give you praise, O Lord, because you will be with them, O Lord, in all that they will do. But at the end of the day, your name alone shall be glorified. Amen. Thank you, Father. Blessed be thy Lord. In Jesus' wonderful name, we pray. Amen. Shall it be amen?
Amen. ESV Lekon Dosumo, please a big round of applause for him. Thank you, Grandpa. In that same vein of recognition and appreciation, permit me to also recognize ESV Oladipo Onobanjo, the level chairman of the Lagos State branch, the very branch. Adeniji Raji, please a big round of applause for him. Please make it Morris, he's the chairman. And when you see his outfit, you will know he's the chairman. He's the only man from Akada on the street of Table. Alright, also I want to welcome ESV Roba Orimolade, the immediate past chairman, 25th chairman of the very branch. That's the outgone president. The outgone president, coordinating minister, and the governor of this very branch. Permit me to use those terms, I'm Jensen. Also, I want to welcome the 8th chairman of Lagos branch and past president of NIGERIAN, in person of ESV OJA Idudu, the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors, the person of ESV Bode Adetiji. He stood up in the capacity of his name, Adetiji. We also have in our midst the second vice president of NIGERIAN, the person of ESV Jumbo Amebo. That name sounds like somebody who is from Edo State. He's from there. Amayebon or Bayakbon, they all sound alike. Alright, permit me to move forward a little bit. As our guests arrive, we'll be recognizing them and also we'll be appreciating them in this event. Right about now, I want to move straight to the welcome address by the immediate past chairman, the person of ESV Uluroba Oremaladi.
Very branch. One of our elders here, I won't mention his name, educated us about a year ago, and I asked him, sir, why did you call it D branch? He's actually here, Elder J. Idudu. Please, a round of applause for our elders. And in no other words, he told us of our great exploits from the days the institution was formed, how the Lagos State branch has been setting the pace. So pardon me when I say it with all due respect. I know my presidents are here. When I emphasize the very branch. But basically, it was 2 years ago when I came into the saddle, and I came in with a crop of, I call them the most talented human beings. I'm saying that without, I'm not holding back on my accolades to the people that we are blessed with. We're talking about the year 2017, 2019, 2 years ago. And we did the best that we can. I am not used to speeches. This, I got off the cuff. This is for records. My chairman knows. I didn't want to write a speech. I just told him, look, just give me the microphone. It's not my time, it's his time. 2 years has come and gone, and we've done the best that we can. The branch moves on. I believe during our tenure, we did the best that we can. Focus was basically on building structures for the future. If you don't have structure, if you don't have a good foundation, what are you going to build on? That's what I think we've built. We try to build from what our founding fathers have done. And that's where we are now. I want to use this opportunity to please request for the past executive committee members to please rise up. Let me not start calling names. Can you please rise up, please? My chairman, yes. If you didn't stand up, I would have said you should stand up. At least it's my time till I drop the microphone. Let me just say this. I also want us to recognize someone that we didn't recognize. Mr. Bamibola is in the house, the father of our chairman. Can you stand up for recognition? I am recognizing him specially, and I'm going somewhere. In leadership, and our elders know this very well, there's lots of sacrifice. Quite a number of us during the school lost our loved ones. Some lost our mothers, some lost our fathers. But what was amazing, and why I said I was blessed with this dynamic team, you will not imagine the branch members, most of the time when assignments were being done, those were periods when a lot of our members were going through all kinds of crises. They never showed it. Only me, I was the one that knew, and I couldn't really understand how people can be so committed. That's the reason why I have to tell this the past ESCO to stand up, and please, this time around, give them a resounding round of applause for the great sacrifice they've made to build this institution. You can sit down now. Short speech, as I said, no speech. Congratulations to the incoming executive, led by someone that I call my friend. When I say that, he's my friend. Someone that I called the brain box. He's the chairman. I'm still calling him the brain box. And I've told everybody in Lagos State branch that you understand why I've been calling him the brain box. The wife is here, she knows. For 2 years, there is no day I don't speak to him for more than 30 minutes. Madam, am I lying? No day. So the branch and the institution at large, they are indeed lucky and blessed to have a great personality as this. Thank you and enjoy it.
We're moving straight to the business of the day. We're moving straight to the opening address. And this is going to be done by the chairman of today's occasion, the person of Engineer Niji Raji MNI.
The president of the National Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, I understand is here. Past presidents, members of the executive of the institution, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure and indeed a privilege for me to give some few remarks to this gathering, which has brought together professionals in the estate sector of the economy of our country's economy, particularly in Lagos. First, I'd like to join the participants to congratulate Adedotun Babibola, who is stepping in as the 26th chairman of this branch. Adedotun happens to be like my mentee at my Rotary Club, so I know that he will perform. And somebody has actually mentioned how is the brain box, so I have no doubt. So I want to wish the new executive every success in the coming years, 2019-2021. May I also use this opportunity to express my gratitude to many estate surveyors who have played a great role in my own property development activities. I recall back in 1973, I had applied for a loan at the then Nigerian Building Society. And a gentleman, a professional to the core, Elder Esho, has been assigned to evaluate my project at the Kenya. And it did come, apart from the very professional way he had done his job, he gave me a lot of advice that helped me to successfully implement that project. I haven't seen in a long while, but I also want to thank him today. I also want to pay tribute to many of the past presidents who have been personal business, we have had personal and business relationships together. Past President Charles Adedi, past President Yinka Ishonaike, and indeed the past branch chair, Akin Olawori. They are all of blessed memory. May their souls rest in peace. I cannot stop this tribute without acknowledging the very immeasurable contribution that Sir Dipo Nabanjo has given to me, at no cost to me, throughout my foray in property development. So Dipo, I want to thank you. I've come to understand that to be a successful real estate professional, you must always and consistently put your client's best interest first. When you do that, your personal needs will be realized beyond your great expectations. I've also come to recognize over the years that the fiduciary duties of real estate professionals include, I don't want to take your time because we are all professionals, include accounting, care. The agent must use all his skills to the best of his ability on behalf of the client. Confidentiality. The agent must keep confidential any information given to him by the client, especially information that may be damaging to the client in any negotiation. Of course, disclosure and loyalty. Of course, the agent must provide guidance and assistance to sellers and buyers in marketing and purchasing property for the right price under the best terms, as well as determining clients' needs and financial abilities to propose solutions that suit them. Let me come to the new executive. I fully appreciate the agenda for the next 2 years of this branch, particularly in the area of strategic partnership. We are all aware that in recent past, we have seen the growth of public-private partnerships in real estate development, which I believe is a very welcome development. However, some of our urban developments rapidly become slums because of lack of proper planning in the provision of necessary infrastructure, water and sanitation, transportation, and open spaces, and of course, waste management. And therefore, we suggest that this branch create, if you do not already have one, an advocacy group. The mission of the group would be to protect the real estate industry. And of course, that means protecting your own livelihood as well. But more importantly, a strong political action committee with effective lobbying with the state government, including proposing legislative reviews in key areas of the industry will be necessary. It is in this area that I believe that the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers Legal Branch should have a standing advocacy group with the Lagos State government to influence urban policies and of course promote strategies that specifically respond to urbanization challenges of today. Furthermore, permit me to call your attention to two major international concerns, which I believe this branch, and indeed the Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, must address to provide a platform to attack these issues. Number one, the 2030 United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development, goal number 11. Goal number 11 seeks to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The inclusion of a standalone goal on cities and urban development, the 2030 Agenda, underscores the importance of this topic. Given the importance of the topic to global development efforts, recent movements pushing to address sustainable development from an urban perspective are taking place throughout the world. The new urban agenda, which set global standards of achievement in sustainable urban development, provides a rethinking in the way we build, manage, and live in cities through drawing together cooperation with committed partners, relevant stakeholders, and urban actors at all levels of government. We all recognize that cities are hubs for commerce, culture, productivity, social, human, and economic development. Urban planning, transport systems, water, sanitation, waste management, disaster risk reduction, access to information, and education and capacity building are all relevant issues to sustainable urban development. Today, Lagos growing cities are rapidly becoming slums because some initial basic human needs are not met. Access to transportation, convenient access to open spaces, defined by the United Nations as spaces within 400 meters walking distance of each residence, water and sanitation, and waste management, just to mention a few. Economic International forecasts that by 2030, Lagos is predicted to become a mega city with a population of about 30 million. And by 2050, Lagos is expected to double once more, which will make it the third largest city in the world, but with less infrastructure than any large cities of the world. Part of the 2030 agenda, therefore, calls on major groups and other stakeholders, including local authorities, to report on their contribution to the implementation of the agenda. Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers can therefore provide leadership in the mobilization of a wide range of stakeholders and the formation of multi-stakeholder partners to address this critical issue in Lagos State. Number 2, money laundering and terrorism financing. Over a decade ago, Financial Action Task Force, FATF, and its now 37 members determined that a number of designated non-financial businesses and professions were gatekeepers to the domestic and international financial system. And could themselves potentially be unwitting participants in the money laundering and terrorism financing. These gatekeepers include lawyers, accountants, and of course, real estate agents. The objective of the Financial Action FATF are to set standards and promote effective implementation of legal, regulatory, and operational measures for combating money laundering, terrorism financing, and other related threats to the integrity of international financial system. Following the new anti-money laundering law, estate surveyors and professionals here present now have to scrutinize house buyers' finances to make sure they are not buying property with dirty money. But there's concern that estate agents are not fully aware of their responsibilities in this regard. The anti-money laundering law criminalizes money laundering and enables authorities to confiscate the proceeds of money laundering. 2, it also seeks to implement customer due diligence, that is, identity verification, record keeping, and suspicious transaction reporting requirements for financial institutions and designated non-financial businesses and professions where real estate falls in. One of the first steps required of estate surveyors, agents and surveyors, therefore, is to appoint a money laundering regulation officer. It must be stressed that the regulatory monetary officer of an agency will need to be someone of senior management ability. They will need to have certain level of gravitas, be credible, be able to spot when things don't add up. And of course, you must not succumb to undue pressure. In closing, let me share with you, as part of this address, the remarks of Mr. Magu, the EFCC chairman, when he addressed the organization a few years back. I quote, "Money laundering at the highest level affects us all, as it steals money from you and me and erodes trust and confidence in our leaders. And the very worst thing we can do is to keep silent about it." he said. He went on and charged this gathering to come up with measures as to how we can establish transparency over who owns property or the companies that own which property in our country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have great challenges and great opportunities in creating sustainable cities in our society, as well as strictly complying with money laundering laws. I'm sure with the help of you all here present, professional estate surveyors and valuers, we will meet and make the future much better than the past. However, we must be fully aware that we may encounter defeats, but we must not be defeated. Once more, I congratulate the chairman and the new executive committee of the Lagos State branch of the Institution of the Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and I wish you a very successful term. I thank you all for your attention.
We can make it more resounding for the chairman of today's occasion. He takes a seat. Thank you very much. In that same vein of recognition and appreciation, I would like to recognize and appreciate the presence of ESV Mrs. Olayinka Ajayi Patuola, MNI, representing Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing. Person of ESV Kola Adefila. I've been the person of Mrs. Adedotun's Bakubola. Please give me a round of applause. Her name is, no, everybody hold on. Chairman, say it louder. You didn't put it in this book. Please help me celebrate Mrs. Olutosin Bakubola. Madam, stand up, let them see you. Let them see you. Permit me to ask you to come forward a little bit. Take a bold step, don't be shy, madam. Permit me to also welcome the representative of the Permanent Secretary Fiscal Planning and Urban Development in person of TPL Moritala Balogun. Please a big round of applause for him. We want to hit the nail on the head now. We're moving to the ceremonial handing over to the new chairman and the executive committee. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to request all new executive committee members to please come forward now. All executive committee members, please come forward now. Your time starts. Please let me celebrate them as they come forward in their radiantly bluish attire. Please file up. Don't worry, we have a setup for you already. Office. So the whole congregation, I don't expect you to clap. I want everyone standing in front here with a convincing and appealing round of applause. Welcome the past chairman, the 25th chairman of the Lagos State branch. That's not appealing enough. If I'm the chairman, I will stand up for my seat.
Hand over this symbol of, what do I call it now? Leadership of the very branch, which a lot of great people that are sitting there have also won. it's my pleasure to hand it over to the current chairman of the very branch, Dr. Bababola.
Photographers, are we ready? It's going to be in a very slow manner, very slow. Going. He has refused. You are thinking twice. Oga, think very well. Going and gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very official. It is official. ESV Dr. Bababola officially becomes the 26th chairman of the very branch. Now, the former chairman is now an ESCO.
We'll be taking the official picture, but let me just say this briefly. I want to, we've accepted this one some times ago, but we'll still accept it now. Well, I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, noble colleagues, on behalf of the members of the ESCO here, for the 2019-2021 tenure, we accept this responsibility. I accept to be the chairman and continue in this office as we are. Thank you very much.
That is your official acceptance speech. All right, can we have the plate?
Sure, some of them are coming back to this podium very shortly. I'm going to be calling some dynamic set of people I've been privileged to work with as a vice chairman of the branch. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge the presence of a few other people who have been here since we began, and some of them are coming quite recently. I want to appreciate our welcome, Mr. Ben Ariko and the wife, the Chairman Board of Trustees, Dyslexia Foundation. You'll be hearing from him shortly, and Mrs. Ariko is here. We also have amongst us Alaji and Alaja Abagana Abacha, my very good friend and neighbor, Director Vitacom. I also have some of my colleagues here, Madam Olivia Eroni. Please, let's dance together. Welcome, thank you very much. We have Mr. Omoto Shaw here from Mortgage Banking Association of Nigeria. You're welcome. Thank you very much. I'd like to call on all the members of the ESCO for the 2017-2019 tenure who are present here. I'll call on, in no particular order, let me call on Mr. Agbenga Ishmael, please come forward. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Agbenga Ishmael, please come forward. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Chukwumampam Emele. He was the financial secretary there. Please come forward. Let's put our hands together also for Estate Surveyor and Valuer Omotola Hamioje, treasurer in the last tenure. Please come forward. Oh, she was unofficial, sorry. She was unofficial. I'm so used to having her as treasurer at the ESCO. Let's put our hands together for her. I'm trying to do more like cherry picking because a lot of them should be here today. I want to call on my current vice chairman, who was unofficial then, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Demola Alade, Olabisi Demola Alade, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Niyi Olagoke, Assistant Secretary then. Let's put our hands together for them as a corporate, please. I want to call the past chairman first, last brother. Okay, let me just continue to use the list as much as I can remember. Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Bridget Oraye. Is she around? She's not around. I want to take the privilege of calling on the 8th president of the institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer OJ. Okay, let me say the 9th president of the institution. No, 8th. 11th president. My apologies for mixing it up. 11th president. The 11th president of the institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer OJA Idudu. Let's put our hands together. Sorry, I was missing his chairmanship up because he was the 8th chairman of the very branch. I think I've been keeping the chairmanship on my head so much.
That will be correct. Yes.
So we would like you to kindly assist us in presenting the awards of service to these ladies and gentlemen who have served us so meritoriously in the past 2 years. Thank you, sir.
This is most appropriate that I'm presenting this to Ruba, who has been so close to me. So it's a delicious delight. Ruba, well done. Well done. The entire branch appreciates your efforts, the very good things you have done, if only for the promotion of the branch to the very branch. Congratulations. The shoes you are stepping into, they are big, but I know you have big feet. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the doctor.
PhD Olabisi Demola Alade, you were an official member. Of course I remember. Very good work. Congrats. Congrats. That must be very near me. But they are muscular bit, yes. Anyway, on behalf of the very branch, I present this to you. Well done. But please, do not run away. Continue to give services to the very branch. We need you. Well done.
Thank you very much as you decided.
Well done. Continue to give us service, huh? Right. Thank you. Nice to say yes. Beggar. Well done. Well done. Remain in service. I will tell you, it was service to the branch as it then was. Now the very branch that propelled me into service
to the entire institution. So please, don't avoid the very branch. Continue to give service, because I am sure it did not propel only me, it also propelled your father. Let me just remind you, because at the end, it was Lagos State that ensured we got there. Congratulations, and keep the flag flying. Right. The first thing is to fight to become a fellow of the institution. Are you not yet qualified? Are you qualified? No, not yet. Anyway, congratulations. Well done.
Either by fasting or by prayer, you will qualify in Jesus' name. Please don't go. The awardees, you remember those days in secondary school where we mistakenly carry 14th position and they give us award for the neatest students. Our picture is always more than those that carry first. Ladies and gentlemen, I think they've done very well. 10th president of NIGERIAN, in person of ESV Bode Adediji, PPNIVS.
Deliver is small talk. But I told myself, if I know what is going on in the country now, what I should just do is to violate it. Because when you violate that, you will become a minister. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the D branch chairman and executive for the opportunity of inviting me here to make a talk. I told myself we are here to actually have merriment. So long talk will not do any good. But I believe that there is a purpose for everything. I have been serving the institution for the past 35 years. I started as Assistant Publicity Secretary in Lagos State. And apart from the position of maybe the second Vice President, there was hardly any position in the institution I have not occupied. But I relay this short story to you based on what I saw recurring in our 11th President's comment to some of the members here today. Please continue to serve. He spoke to 3 of them like that. Please remain in service. That's very jarring. And I asked myself that what can I say under 30 minutes that can have any impact? I chose a central theme of leadership, but not from the perspective that we would all say we are familiar with. I look at Nigeria today and I said to myself that what exactly is our problem? Only one letter, which is poverty. But for the general sentiments, understanding of poverty, what I'm trying to address today has nothing to do with naira and kobo, or whether a man has fed himself or has not fed himself, or whether one of my mom is complaining that air tickets have gone up, and so instead of traveling to UK for about 10 times in a year, it's now doing about 7 times. That's poverty as well. Like some people complain when they are eating, small children. One raised up his hand and said, "Mommy, we're having a problem here." What's that problem? Poverty. He could not get to the bottom of the plate because all the meats of chicken, cow leg, bogoto, and so forth have eclipsed the soup. So while some homes they have no meat to eat, his own problem is that the meat too many that cannot get to the bottom of the plate and then have a soup. That is poverty. Now, I chose the word poverty that I would like us to address today as the basis or the main thing that is affecting our country, Nigeria. But before we go into that details, what are the problems we have now? We shouldn't waste time on that, because if you knock at anybody's door today to tell you what are the problems in Nigeria, it's only when you get tired that it will stop. Insecurity, disunity, hate speech. Now, we just beat, and nobody clapped, we don't beat India about 2 months ago. India used to be the world capital of poverty, but gradually Nigeria just overtaken it, and then we are number one. Can you clap for Nigeria? Not only that, we used to be very educated, literate, but in the last couple of years like this, we just struggled and became the center of illiteracy in the world. That's another problem. Oh, thank you for clapping for that. Then we used to leave those of elders, one of them is here today, I don't want to mention his age. But if he stands up and they tell him that life expectancy in Nigeria is now 54, he has every reason to doubt it. Uncle Dose, indeed. But that is the reality and statistics, that we were moving from 71 to 69 to 65, now to 51.5. Sorry, 54. Now, there are bankers here today, I rush myself. When you mention debt in the bank, to them, guess what? That's an asset. To you is what? Liability. Nigeria perhaps was unfortunate to have a president who said, debt is not my portion, we must clear all our debt. So he went ahead and cleared Nigeria's debt and got to their relief. But in his lifetime, and within a period of about 10 years, the debt of 21 billion then ballooned into 25 trillion. Can we clap for Nigeria? I would like all this data to sink into our mind, because there's a section of this write-up that speaks about ignorance. Because if you are bankrupt and you're still spending your life in the way you are doing it before you became bankrupt, only God can help you. Well, let's go further so I can just skip it. We have unemployment rate. I'm not so confident about all this data. Some say 21%. Some said 43%. I think about 4 weeks ago in South Africa, and I told the lady sitting down to me, I said, you guys had 32% of unemployment, and you went ahead and impeached my own friend, Jacob Zuma. I said, if you are in Nigeria, the only thing is that if you are the father of the governor, and the governor for the first 4 years did not perform, the best thing is that let him repeat the class. So that whatever he has done wrong in the past, he can do it again. But say, we are not Nigerians. If you cannot provide job for us, the president should go. And so Jacob Zuma do what? Left. Because it's a line, I put another one there as a problem, housing deficit. It's never reaching. Some said 17 million, 18 million, 20 million, but my own yardstick is very simple. Drive around by about 9 p.m. and begin to count from one overhead bridge or the other, how many people are sleeping under the bridges. Go to some pool, take a statistic that this is face me, I face you, in a room, one husband, maybe one wife or two wives, and many children. So you can calculate. The last one we have is this. When I left school, Lagos Ibadan, who are very youthful, would take only 45 minutes to drive. If you are lucky today, and a man is going to Ijebu-Shagamusa, he has to watch what time he set out from his house in Maryland. before you can get to Ijara Parasite, maybe another 2 hours. That is infrastructure. If you are a mature man or woman and you have arrived, and there is no generator in your house, then we have to look at you again. We have all these problems, but let us look at why it becomes so very unfortunate. I'm trying to watch the time, but if I overshoot my time, please, the government of my state, post me there. These are the things that God had done for Nigeria. Land mass is above 970,000 square kilometers. If you want to actually look at statistics well, I watch this program on channel every other Sunday or Friday by this Ogonsanya. You will be impressed about statistics and the way they impact your life. You have a land mass of 970,000 square kilometers, and a country like Israel probably has less than 0.1% of the land area. Yes, you cannot speak to that country eyeball to eyeball. I know that people are clapping out for Rwanda. I've been to Kigali several times. The land mass is less than 20% of Nigeria. They can feed, they can build, they can fly, they can go to hospital. But Nigeria has almost 10 times what they have. Population, we are very big. And that's why the world powers now are maybe trying to let everybody be careful about Nigeria. That's our territory. Why? The bigger you are in economics, other things being equal, the bigger the market indication. Because whether we like it or not, the quantity of second-use dresses that will be shipped to an African country that has only 10 million population usually will be about 10 times when they are shipping the same thing to the same market of 200 million people. So these are facts. Well, let's look at the one that creates problem. I've failed to even put some figure there because it's never there. You have the proven crude oil. This is about 460 billion. We have the gas. We have the gold. We have something that happened last year, which should be of interest to all of you. Nigerians abroad remitted 25 billion US dollars to this country. Let's clap for them. Because when they were growing about 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we wrote them off. But just remove that from Nigeria's bank. You will now know how shallow you have become. That is, if there is no remittance from abroad, where would you have been? Somebody was commenting, so let us just keep that. Said the big father we have, which is NNPC. Anybody with the NNPC here? Gave federal government 11 billion last year, total remittance. And so our own brothers, sisters, children abroad remitted to this country 25 billion US dollars. Our GDP is straightforward, 400 billion. Again, we beat South Africa just about 5 years ago, under the tenure of my former friend Okonjo-Iweala. He said, let us go and rebase. If we rebase, we can tell South Africa we are bigger than you. South Africa used to be the biggest country in Africa before in GDP, but I think we overran them and remain the biggest country in GDP today. Whether that's translated to employment, or food, or health, or growth, or education, that is just there for you to ponder about. Now, let us leave all those. People now say Nigeria is failing. I want to say that Nigeria will not fail. Nigeria will not fail. Amen. But for Nigeria to fail, we have to be conscious that failure is a possibility. And what are the problems we have? Since we have land mass, we have money, we have population, we have manpower. As a matter of fact, we have education. Because one thing about statistics in this country is simply this. If they talk about poverty, please don't compare poverty in my state with poverty in Lagos State, because the two things are not what? They are not the same. And don't compare poverty in Zamfara with poverty in Benue State. Because whether you like it or not, in Benue State, in part of Kwara State, in Kogi State, they will farm. So when you look at statistic and agricultural input as about 70% of their about to GDP, pinpoint where all these maize, yam, cassava are being planted. Then you will know that when they talk about Nigeria being one of the poorest countries in the world, yes, it is true. But region by region, the statistics are not the same. So I'll start with the first one that should be of concern to us. We have education, we have religious vocations all over the country, but the trouble in this country is still this. We are largely ignorant. And if I would just put it this way, without knowledge, the people do what? The people perish. I like those who normally want to argue against religion or philosophy. Fine. But let me tell you, sooner than later, at the private level, you will know that unless you possess knowledge, whether you have PhD, you are a fellow of the institution, some of the things you are pursuing will just perish. And another portion of the Bible, I didn't quote it because I know that all of you are better than me in that. He said, in everything you want to see or get what? Understanding. I've seen this country that we believe that once we go to school, we have knowledge. We are wrong. Let us take a look at virtue so that in the next 10 minutes can be over. People have been saying this and I follow it. And it's not from the perspective of holier than thou. A nation that is not guided by virtue, there is no prosperity. I'm very interested in the definition that I stumbled into. That if we don't do what is right, if we did, as PDP did some time ago, that let us go for voting so that we can elect the chairman of Governors Forum, and somebody scored 32, and that one scored what? 17. And the results are now that the person that scored 17 won the election and they clap for him. That is why. So when you pick all this and spill Nigeria, it means that if your child scored maybe 400, or let us say 90% in JAM, we happen to come from Edo State. Another one comes from Osun State, and he scored about, it might be about a little bit below 50, but about 47. And JAM pasted his result that is admitted. Let's go to the other one that I call consciousness of tomorrow. He told me, and I teach him. I said, oh, your program is 11. And I said, no, it's 11. I said, no, it's 10 o'clock. I said, but I know there are 2 to 10, and I did that. Now, that is not about being conscious of tomorrow. That is timeliness. What I mean by conscious of tomorrow is simply this. If we are not sure that tomorrow exists, we can't plan for it. Those children must feed. When they feed, they must go to school. If they go to school, they must fall ill and go to hospital. Once there is no calculus in anything we do, then there is no tomorrow. There's a record about that, so I can just keep that, of somebody who said, governors came to me and said, sir, Mr. President, this morning you call, is it ECA, excess crude oil. Say, look, let us spend it. And so, to the glory of political architecture in Nigeria, they spent the money. Those who knew about it, and those who didn't know about it, all of us suffered because of that word, recession. There is no, I will say before I go to the last one, and to my conclusion. I have chosen this audacity of poverty copying somebody, I respect the law. You know about why a person will fail or why Nigeria will fail. But this is what governs us. The audacity of poverty. Poverty of knowledge, poverty of unity, poverty of tomorrow, and poverty of visionary leadership. Let us just spend 2 minutes on that and then we go. If you pick the word leadership and you are pointing, accusing fingers to those in Abuja or in Lagos, either as president or ministers or governor, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrong. It's brilliant. True of us? Thank you very much. And so when people really campaign, struggle to get to a position of power, I always lament. Because when I was in part 1 in 74 University of Ife, I got interested in philosophy. Some of the things, all of the things they say there, they are very basic. A man cannot give what he does not possess. Can we clap for both of them, please? Now let us look at the definition so I can go. We have the one that says someone that's a leader is the person that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way, isn't it? You cannot really remove anything from that. The other one then says to us, because I picked those out of about 21 definition of leadership. It says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, and do more, and become more, then you are a leader. Once your attitude, reasoning, action is based on things like tribalism, religious bigotry, nepotism, whatever kind of schism, you can't be a leader, either in your house, in your community, at the institution, or anywhere for that matter. Because it is the combination of all these contributions from everybody that make a leader who he is. Now, what are the things they mention to us? They mention about factors that define leaders. Honesty and integrity. You must have confidence. You must inspire others. You must have commitment and passion. You must be a good communicator. That one, I will not say whether it's done, because I've seen people cannot talk, but they can lead. He has decision-making capabilities, accountability, and must be creative and innovative. Then, above all, they said that if you are weeping, your leader must be able to weep with you. If you are rejoicing, your leader rejoices with you. So in our community here, we must have empathy. What I would like to close with is simply this. I would not want any one of us here to heap all the blames about this country on, oh, that president, that governor, that minister. If within ourselves here, we can actually re-engineer changes, then Nigeria shall be great. I thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we rise to applaud that wonderful, impactful, insightful, and experiential speech? And I have added something to his name. From now onwards, I will call him ESV Bode Audacious Adediji. That was thought-provoking. Thank you very much. We progress further in today's activities. I want to welcome some important people. The President. Everybody in this hall, rise up on your feet. That's the Grand Commander of our territory. He's the Field Marshal of this zone. is the final say. That is our own president, Muhammadu Buhari. Any other president for now does not exist. He's the only substantial president. I asked us to remain standing. I'm not done with. I'm the MC. Everybody, please rise up on your feet. I know when I anchor event and the president of Federal Republic comes in, I know what we do. Whatever the president has said does not stand. I'm the MC of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, with all the love on the inside of you, with all the joy that you can show with your ovation, please put your hands together in a thunderous, resounding, intimidating, and oppressive manner for the #1 man of this institute. All over the universe is our president. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have your seat majestically like kings and queens that you are. Your Excellency. We also have Mr. Kayode Olusoya. Please a big round of applause for him. We have Mr. Femi Oluwalano from Expand Press Limited. Please a big round of applause for him. K. Pakud. Please a big round of applause. The president is never late. Whenever he enters, it's the right time.
That I was not able to come in before the start of this event. The problem is that NIGERIANs have ordered for presidential aircraft, and the technology in producing it says it will take some more 50 years before it will be completed. So I had to make do catching up with what is available. Please forgive me for coming late. I want to say that I'm elated and excited to be in this particular function, bringing in another administration in the foremost branch of our institution, the very branch. I want to, even at this time of celebration of the 50th anniversary of our institution, sincerely appreciate our elders. I can see quite a number of them seated in this hall today, who made the effort to establish a profession we are proud of today, some 50 years ago. I am also appreciative of the state Lagos, that it is in this state that the very first meeting of the institution took place among those elders. Some of them are still alive today. And of course, this branch have built a foundation that other branches are trying to catch up with. And of course, has become a role model for branch operations in Nigeria. I thought branch members would be happy. And of course, you can't talk about NIGERIANs without talking about this branch. Not forgetting that not too long ago, the federal capital city was Lagos. So this branch played a prominent role in doing what this institution wants to do for our nation. I want to say that the entire whole will remain one, the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Since over 50 years, no other part has broken out of us. I think members should also be happy about it. We know that many professions have, somehow separated, parted ways with some of their members. But this one has remained one united professional body. And I want to charge members today that that unity is the only thing that will take us to where we are going. More so that from the inception till today, this profession has faced challenges. Challenges of those who contend with the key core practice areas, and not too late on. So recently, we still have issues. They have advanced their cause to go even to legalize their illegal activities, which we are standing to say it will not stand. And I believe that every member is behind the council that we must reverse whatever has been done wrongly. There is hope, there are promises that definitely the satanic, if you like, regulation that was passed in our nation will be reversed by God's special grace. We are also looking forward to work together to be able to keep away those who have always tried to take what does not belong to them. We can't achieve all this if we do not continue in the spirit with which our forefathers founded this profession. I therefore call on the new ESCO in Lagos, particularly led by the chairman, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Badmus, to please help us keep the unity of the institution, because other branches will be looking towards Lagos State. The Lagos State branch is an influential branch. Whatever they do, others will like to copy. I assure you of my maximum cooperation within my remaining, how many years? 5 years of tenure, if you like. Let's not the first vice party. I won't spend 1 day extra on this. So please, on a serious note, we need everybody to make the maximum impact we ought to make as a profession. On that note, let me, on behalf of the National Council, express our congratulatory message to the new chairman of Lagos State Branch and the entire school of Lagos State, and offer them hands of fellowship that we are ready and will work with you. Thank you and God bless you.
Shall we rise to appreciate the most humble, very fashionable president, ESV Roland Ibonta. No, nobody will sit until you are seated. If you shake for 1 hour, we keep standing. We need to give honor to whom honor is due. We don't take your humility for granted, sir.
Sorry, sir.
I love the way you sat down aggressively. Now you people can sit down aggressively. We're moving further. And right now, we want to take a goodwill message by the most senior past chairman of the very branch present. And that is no other person than our father, grandfather, elder, ESV OJA Idudu.
Please, let's put our hands together for him. Sir, if you'd like to take it on your seat, you are permitted. Okay, sir. This particular aspect of the program was specially created to ensure those coming into this office understand what the responsibilities are. And that was why we created this section, that before the chairman takes up that responsibility to even speak, the most senior past chairman around will be able to give a word of advice. And that's why he's taking this position. I believe those who will be successors to me will be able to continue to follow up with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. This is perhaps an opportunity for me to talk about my journey in the profession. Well, I thank God that the only original Dose, Uncle Dose, is here with us. I would have wished that Tunde Adegbemile were also here. That is the history of the profession. Tunde Adegbemile was the first secretary of the Lagos State branch. I returned from my training in the United Kingdom early in 1972. Tunde Adegbemile was already secretary. In fact, he was secretary, I think, to Hope Harriman, and he had been also to the fellow John Ekpeyong, who later on became our first president of the institution. We had a national secretary in the person of, what was his name now? I think it's late. He was the national secretary. And Tunde wanted to go around to the national service. He then headhunted me at Night Friday, and I agreed that I would serve the branch as the secretary, and so I moved to his shoes at the branch level as national secretary. I remember that I served Akinda Hunsi. Akinda Hunsi, I think, was the third chairman of the branch. Member for a number of years, I became the second vice president of the institution. My wish and hope is that those who are serving us now, for which we remain grateful, should always remember that service is the name of the game. Thank you, and God bless you.
Please help me celebrate that very short glimpse into the history book of Naives. It was supposed to be a goodwill speech. I want to appreciate and welcome the presence of the president of the award-winning Rotary Club of Bagada and his beautiful wife, Rotarian Akin and Mrs. Odutola. Please a big round of applause for them. Let Madame rise with you. Oh, okay, sit down. Sit down. Thank you very much. Before we break into the interlude that will make this atmosphere more relaxing, the one that we crave for, I want us to do something very briefly, and that is the launching of our promotional stickers. There are ushers wherever you are. There are ushers wherever you are. And so you can get a copy from them. receive the official and the grand appearance of the 26th chairman of the very branch. Please, shall we rise with a standing ovation as we welcome Adedotun Bamigbala.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's be seated. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the occasion, it's a great honor and privilege to stand before you today as the investiture of the 26th chairman of the branch and the executive committee members of the Lagos State branch of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Our institution is indeed the foremost professional body in real estate in Nigeria and occupies a distinct place in the annals of history. I think a bit of that history has been well shared with us today, ladies and gentlemen, which I believe we all appreciate Elder O.J.A. Idudu for. Let's appreciate him once again. Let's put our hands together for him once again. And all the elders that are here, I've been hearing on kudos, and well, let's put our hands together for Deacon Lekon Dosumu, one of the founding fathers of our institution. The historic position is today being challenged by various interests in the real estate sector, and these interests have increasingly confronted the profession in law, practice standards, technology, to mention a few, since the institution was established in 1969. The real estate sector of the economy has witnessed uneven growth in the country over time as a result of limited regulations, in spite of its huge potential, and partly because the institution needs to take more seriously its leadership role in the sector. Lagos, being the leading real estate investment destination in Nigeria, plays a major role in developmental issues, particularly in the real estate sector. The land registry already has a platform for digital title search. You have a ECOVO platform, online planning approval. This platform are already existing. This aside, the various private sector-driven information technology feeds, mostly by practitioners outside our profession, and from development of smart buildings to ICT tools, which are rapidly coming up from time to time in various aspects of our traditional practice, are causing disruptions within the sector and narrowing the space. This has led to limited awareness about our profession, especially about naives. The challenge of the real estate sector also calls to question our drive towards specialization, especially with the existing 15 faculties and business divisions established at the national level of naives, and the knowledge gap which needs to be covered up, by devising our practice, diversify our practice as professionals in special fields of practice. It is therefore our plan as an executive committee to take up the responsibilities the system has thrusted upon us by promoting and ensuring that Naive Lagos State branch will take favorable leadership strides in the sector going forward. My vision as the 26th chairman of the very branch, as captured in the document called the Agenda, The Future is Now, talks about the agenda as an action plan aimed at leading us to the future in our activities development and networking as the leading branch of NIGERIAN in the real estate space. The program in the document were conceived and designed to impact both private and public sector players, as well as impact on the well-being of our members. The agenda has 5 key elements, namely research and development, strategic partnership with both public and private sector, capacity development including specialized trainings and promotion of the use of technology in our practice, members' welfare and growth, special projects and programs including the business summit and the honors night. The last element of the agenda also includes our CSR project with the Dyslexia Foundation, as well as the celebration of the branch's 58th anniversary in 2020 as the foremost branch of the institution. This important branch celebration will be coming up after the institution's 58th conference anniversary in Abuja in 2020. A critical focus for us as an executive committee is our strategic partnership with both public and private sector organizations. We will strive to establish and strengthen our relationship with them through structured partnership in programs and by providing advisory on real estate matters through our research program. This is aimed at providing advisory where necessary to enhance government's intervention in the real estate sector, while providing necessary advisory as well as data for private sector investors. We will keep awareness on these areas through our programs and our quarterly industry report on the real estate sector from our research and development subcommittee, which is the first to be established at the branch level of the institution, aside the one that was established at the national level. We therefore welcome engagement and support from government and the private sector players, as our programs will create avenues for them to use the knowledge base of professionals within the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers in the delivery of their goals for the good people of Lagos and Nigerians at large. Be rest assured that we will give value when engaged, as we can always do better. Ladies and gentlemen, your support and prayers for us and the very branch will go a long way in helping us to achieve the milestones we have outlined in the agenda. We count on your prayers. Thank you and God bless. The future is now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put a brief story behind the introduction of the Dyslexia Foundation and our awareness campaign with them. I have indeed been about a few things that we needed to do to further engage the society in our activities. And while this responsibility of being the chairman was trusted onto me, I felt it would also be needful for us to not just limit ourselves to our own area of influence, real estate. Let us go out there and stretch out our hand of fellowship to other social organizations and see how we can support, how we can also learn from them. I was indeed impressed by our visits in the last 2 years to 2 key organizations. One, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The other one was to the Lagos Business School. These 2 organizations indeed told us about corporate social responsibilities they were doing and how they support foundations and cancer and some other organizations. And I felt that it would be nice and appropriate for naives as a body, especially within our own space in Lagos, to begin to do similar activities to ensure that we should not just talk about ourselves, we talk about other people and encourage the public to recognize them. Yes, you can hear so many things in other societies, other foundations that are being supported. Dyslexia seems to be a language that people don't know anything about. And that was what actually brought in my interest into it, that if people don't know anything about it or don't know so much about it, then we should be able to bring this out to the fore so that people can recognize it. Someone asked me a few days ago and said that, what is the relationship between dyslexia and naives? And my response was this. In naives, we have a class of highly cerebral individuals who are professionals in their various rights. They are very good. And if dyslexia is talking about things relating to the use of the brain, these are people that I know, forget the fact that I'm part of them, they use a lot of their brain to do a lot of things. A surveyor, an SS surveyor and valuer can be walking on the street and you can be sure that, forget about the money, everything that is looking at in front of him is thinking of how it impacts the environment, what the government should have done, what are the benefits to the private sector, and so many things are working in your brain at the same time. And I think that deserves a round of applause for all that surveys and valuers there. Because I know we do think a lot. Now, dyslexia is not something limited to children in school or to, it's not limited by any age. It's something that could even affect adults. I've heard of a lawyer who went to law school, was a good public speaker, but was limited in his capacity to even put his writings down, to even express himself at times, but he was a good public speaker. And he was a leader in his own right. So I met with the chairman board of trustees for the Dyslexia Foundation. After checking them out, Mr. Ben Ariko, and we had a discussion. We agreed on some relationship building and creating awareness for dyslexia. You have on your table, on your seats, a pamphlet talking about dyslexia. I would like you to read it. They also have a book outside which you can get, and that is going for 1,000 naira if I remember. Yes.
Very, very important thing is a message we need to take to the mainland. I'm telling you, I know somebody who is currently using mantle, healing oil, prayer water, and all sorts, not knowing that this is the problem of the child. Let me welcome the chairman to round up this session.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, I think everyone is being served, right? It's coming to you that has not reached you. You know, one of the things I wondered about dyslexia is there are 2, or let me mention 3 people that I've heard about. Thomas Edison. There was also Richard Branson. there's also this. Ben Carson too had a challenge, and one of the greatest scientists of modern time, what's his name now? The German, Albert Einstein. Yeah. Yes. There's something particular with all those people that has been particular with a lot of people in their schools. There are a lot of children in schools. They were told that they were no good. In fact, Thomas Edison was sent home. But because of their creativity, was also told they could do no good. But this was what was wrong with them, that people had not been able to fathom at that time. At times, a dyslexic person, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ben, will be thinking of an aeroplane while you are discussing with him about a motorcycle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the back page of your brochure, you see some of the stickers we are launching today. They are going around. They go for 200 naira. I was going to say 20,000 naira. 200 naira. And it's very affordable. So as a surveyor, you can pick one and have it. You can buy for your friends and family. The one for, okay, my wife buys this one. I'm married to an estate surveyor and valuer. Your husband can buy it too. You can buy for your wife, for your husband. You know, if you are an estate surveyor and valuer, and if you are not an estate surveyor and valuer, if you are related to one, please get one. My friend is an estate surveyor and valuer. So everyone here who is not an estate surveyor and valuer, at least we are your friends. That's why you are here. So you can buy one of the stickers. So this a good work coming from them, self-funded by this committee. The committee put it together themselves, and every proceed from it goes to the branch. So let's put our hands together for them once again, and as we launch it. So please, let's encourage that work and pick one sticker or the other. The ushers are handling them. Just 200 naira. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We must sell the stickers. I don't know the pattern of the chairman. He is very persuasive and encouraging. By the power conferred on me as the MC of this event, nobody will go out without a sticker. Bouncers, you lock the gate. The only pass out of this hall is one sticker. If you are not married to a surveyor, you'll be a friend to a surveyor or a relative to a surveyor. What other thing is there? I'm the son of a surveyor. There are many things there. In fact, if you are not anything to a surveyor, you are not supposed to be here. So you must have a sticker. Alright? Ushers, I'm a businessman. How many have we sold? Oh, they were very plenty. Come. You no. I've been to gathering because I saw people eating leaf. I ate leaf and I know where I ended up. So eat what you are used to. We'll be taking a word of advice before we go to the vote of thanks.
This is not the vote of thanks. It is not the vote of thanks, I repeat. But I think there is a special class of people I should actually appreciate here. Because I appreciate everybody that is here. But there are some young guys here that you always ask me every time I'm going out, are you going out again? For the past 8 years, they've been asking that question.
Your hands in the air, don't clap, just wave your left or whichever hand you're not using to hit amala to the head. Wave it now if you enjoyed yourself. Okay, the rest of you that didn't wave your hands or are not waving, what did you do? It's either you enjoyed yourself or you didn't enjoy it now. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Investiture and it's CUSH. Talk until something happens. Band, let me introduce my branch. Thank you. Continue, but let it be very low. No spoil my market. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I said my name is MC Tush. It's T-U-S-H. That's talk until something happens. And I'm sure a lot has happened here today. If you have such glamorous, beautiful events, you can call me anytime. No vulgar jokes, no ethnic or tribal imbalance, no secular or calculated talk, just proper grammatical fluency with a sense of humor. I'm sure you enjoyed me. I mean, if you enjoyed me now, put your hands together for yourself, everybody. Thank you very much. Break it down now. Now everybody, fill your glasses with something. Fill your glasses with something. If you have finished the wine before this toast, Judgment Day has come. Fill your glasses with wine. If you don't have wine again, maybe the test was beyond your control. You can use the drink. If you have finished the juice, use the camel. If by adventure you also finish the camel, use the bottled water. If you have also finished the bottled water, fill the decoration. Just make sure you have something filled. If you have filled your glasses, can you raise it up to me? Can you raise it up? Raise it up. Okay, put it back. Put it back. Hello, sir. Fill your glass. It's a collective something. We are not plenty again. I have you people's time now. Excuse me, sir. They didn't give you glass. Make sure your glass is filled with something. We want to toast to a new era, to a beautiful regime, a more innovative and more productive tenor. The prayer is that the former supersedes, the latter supersedes the former. I wanted to say the former supersedes less the former, the latter. But the chairman is always communicating with me. I'm waiting. Hello, the woman on the familiar with. Yes, feel it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody in this hall, shall we all be on our feet as we raise our glasses? Everybody in this hall, rise up on your feet. Everybody, it's a taboo for you to be seated while the president and the branch chairman is standing. It's a big taboo. Can we raise our glasses? We are raising these glasses to celebrate the investiture of the 26th branch chairman and executive committee members led by the indefatigable ESB Adedotu Bamibola. It's going to be from one realm of glory to another. It's going to be from one level of productivity to another. Greater height of innovations. The glory of this great institute will continue to rise from one level to another. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Cheers to a more fruitful beginning. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Nobody's coming to cheers with me. Such is life. Thank you, Lami. Lami, give me the water. Thank you. Oh, to a greater foundation this year. More support. NTA and channels will look for you. Nobody wants to. Chairman, you will sit down without me. Okay, I should come. The power is in your hands now. Chairman. Chairman. Permit me to cheers with the president. It's a privilege. Let me take the hat. Hey. With the president himself. The Apachino one of this team.
Thank you for coming, sir. The first Vice President, ESB, Emma Wike, thanks so much. Second Vice President, ESB, John Bolamayebo, thanks so much for giving us your time. We appreciate you, sir. We also say thank you to our members, my local colleagues and senior colleagues, all the councils, representatives around, our sponsors, and the speaker. Let's not forget, let's say a big thank you to the chairman of the occasion and guest speaker of today. We appreciate you all. And last but not the least, I would like to appreciate my team, that's the Investiture committee. I thank you all for your support towards the success of this program. Thank you all, and God bless you.
On behalf of the planning committee of this wonderful program, I appreciate myself. And also we'll be taking pictures for as many of us that want to take pictures. Please feel free to do so. Our official photographers are everywhere. But you will excuse me for the next 5 minutes because it's a common tradition that after every ceremony, the MC does not get food because they will tell you meat has finished. So I have to go and get my food before the meat gets finished.
done for the institution. And we are grateful for the vessels that you are using to move this institution forward. Papa, we pray they will never lack ideas in Jesus' name. You will guide and direct them, O Lord. You will guide their path. Where others have failed, Jehovah, they will triumph. We pray you give them divine wisdom, just as you give King Solomon, to drive this unit, this firm, and this institution to an enviable level. All this we pray, Lord, in Jesus' mighty name. Be thou exalted, O Lord. Thank you, God.
The dance floor is also open.